This story is brought to you by the Health and Homeopathy podcast.
What a great story. Now, you wanted to tell us about mold, right?
Mold is just a very strange illness because not everyone gets it. And if you don't know that you've been exposed to it, it can just lead to a lifetime of pain and confusion, not knowing why you have symptoms. So we had a leak and it was known and we thought we fixed it. And we're in Louisiana, so the water comes from the sky here. And unlike California, where we're from. And we told the girls, you need to keep this floor clear. We need to test it and make sure it's staying dry. And they didn't follow direction. And I didn't notice, but they piled a bunch of stuff in the spot that we were keeping clear to make sure that it was staying dry. And one day I noticed, why are there boxes there? Y'all, that is not your storage closet. And I pulled them out and then there was a bunch of black under it. And at the same time, my daughter had been having tonsillitis for like 2 months. She developed new food allergies. She had started having strange pain that wasn't it's pain that was caused from like a surfing accident 6 years ago and falling out of a tree 4 years ago. These pains that weren't really linked to anything current. And she was paying, as a 16-year-old, she was paying out of her own money to go see a massage therapist. So like that's legit if a 16-year-old is going to pay for their own money. Her tonsils were huge and she'd been eating stevia fine. But in this period, she became so allergic to stevia that if someone had stevia out in the same room, it would give her a headache just being in the same room with it. So this is like a sampling of the things that were happening. And I couldn't fix her tonsils. Like I have so many tricks and tools in my toolbox, and I threw all my tools at her tonsils and nothing was working. And then we found the mold, and my sister kept telling me there's probably an allergen that you're just not aware of. I said, well, I don't know I don't know what allergen there is. Well, there it was. And mold, now that I've read, 25% of people don't have the genetic ability to clear it from their body. So the other 2 girls were perfectly fine. And then this third girl is walking around in pain every day, begging for a massage therapist. So we dug into Facebook groups. My husband remediated the mold best he could. He's smart, but he's not a professional. So I'm sure it wasn't done perfectly. A lot of people in the mold groups would say you have to burn your house down with all your possessions to a different state. And I couldn't quite do that. I did talk to a mold coach, and I asked her doctor to prescribe a binder. She took other binders. Well, then, so this was before homeopathy. And eventually I hired a homeopath for her. And the remedy that really seemed to make the biggest difference was a remedy made from a mix of molds. And she only took it for 7 days, and it seemed like her pain just went away over that 7 days. Not that it was perfect after that, but it was significantly improved. And it's still a work in progress. She's not like 100% well, but I would say she's 80 or 90% from where she was. And we just started using that mold mix remedy again. It's mold mix 30C once a day. The homeopath told her to use it for 1 week, and we did that. But now I'm thinking, let's go back and use it some more and see if we can get some more benefit out of it. She used Ruta for a while. Ruta has a lot of tendon healing in it, and she's very sensitive. So she was just using Ruta 6 twice a day. That seemed to help. That's where we're at.
So that mold mix, was that a custom mix?
We bought it from the homeopath, but I have seen it at Helios. Don't know if it's the same, but it might be the same. If I had some mold, I would just buy the one from Helios and try mold mix 30C once a day and see what happens. In another group, the moderator actually suggested making your own remedy from your own mold, leaving a petri dish of water out for 48 hours to collect whatever's in the air in your own space, and then dilute and succuss it to make your own remedy from your own mold. That's another idea. I might get to that if I need to at some point.
Be sure to like and subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs the healing power of homeopathy.